Hello, this is Bell. Just a heads up before we get started that we got new microphones and they sound so good, except for not in this episode as we had forgotten to EQ them. So sorry about that. We'll go back to sounding good next week. But until then, enjoy this episode about Demon Days by Gorillaz. Welcome to Final Verdict. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Adam.
And this is a record podcast, kind of like a book club.
But about records and also a podcast.
I like that. That could catch on.
Yeah, I think so.
Each week, myself, Jamie, Adam, we pick a record and we talk about it track by track. And sometimes there's a guest. Like this week, where we have Nicholas Plouffe from Linus Tech Tips to talk about an album.
It's me.
Oh my! You scared me.
Oh my!
I'm
God.
back.
Plouffe, you were the host of this podcast for the first 100 episodes.
That's true.
At 100, we said we can't do it anymore. Plouffe, you're out of here.
That's true.
Yeah, now he comes crawling back.
We said you come and go like a pop song, and you're out.
Okay, I said that before the podcast. You steal my jokes.
Whatever.
Now. That's crazy, but
You didn't
yes,
trademark
He loves
that
to
joke.
steal
you went
jokes.
back to school.
Yeah, I'm taking technical writing.
I can hear it in your speech, honestly.
I'm sure you can.
And what are we listening to this week?
I figured if I was coming back, I would pick an album that is better than the very first album that we ever chose, which was The Now Now by Gorillaz, which was not very good.
Okay, that was my
Whoa,
choice.
whoa,
I'm a
whoa,
little
whoa, whoa.
offended.
You're coming in hot with the takes.
To be fair, it's not
That's
fantastic.
a correct take.
Yeah. Listen to that. Maybe don't listen to that episode because
Yeah,
I went
it's
back.
like pretty rough.
It sounds pretty rough. We didn't have intro music.
We were figuring things out.
Did not edit.
Absolutely don't
You know?
listen to the first 7 episodes.
Yeah,
If you're
Yeah.
a super fan, listen to it for the historical content.
that's right. So that you can hear me trash The Now Now again.
You know what's interesting? It actually had a video, so you can watch on Spotify, and if you do, you can upload a video track.
Yep.
So Plouffe recorded the record playing.
I forgot
in
I
his
did
record
that.
player.
Yeah, you
and
did
I
that for the
edited
first
it
4
so it
episodes, then we
spanned
gave
the
up.
entire
Yeah.
episode, and it stopped spinning when the episode ends.
And then we were like, we're never doing this again.
yeah, I was like, that was a lot of work and for nothing.
Yeah, for
You did it with the.
We're that dedicated here at Final
You did
Verdict.
that for the first maybe 5 episodes. Then we gave up.
I don't even
I
remember.
still have the files on my computer.
Yeah,
don't
now we
remember
just
doing
only
it
show
past
the
the
album
first
art,
one.
and all of our videos are in different aspect ratios.
Hell yeah.
That's a different.
Listen,
problem.
it's a square photo. What does it matter? What the
16
aspect
by
ratio is?
10
All I want to say is that we're working on it.
for the laptop users.
But yes, you picked.
So I picked Demon Days by Gorillaz, which is, in my opinion, their best album.
It's their second album.
It's
Whoa,
their
hot
second.
take.
It's their second album.
Jamie coming in with the hot take.
It's also kind of my first real like proper introduction to them, past just like someone throwing on their debut album and hearing a song or two. I'd known about them for a long time because my cousin was a big fan of the debut, but yeah, it wasn't until Demon Days came out in 2005, right before my birthday, where I was like, yeah, this is sick.
Yeah, it's a
and I
great
get
album.
and I
That's
get
it.
it.
You
now.
listened to it like on release?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh wow.
Yeah. None of you guys did?
Well, I was young.
Oh.
I did. I was not in. I was.
I listened to it when it came out. Yeah.
I was in like a Weird Al phase at the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
probably the same.
That's actually where I know the song "Feel Good." I know it from
Oh, the
Weird Al's
polka.
polka cover.
Ah.
That's where I first heard it, and that is what made me look the song up
Mhm.
because I wanted what that "Feel Good."
Yeah.
Listen to the CD consensus episode for April Fools where we talk about that album which has that song.
Yeah,
Yeah, Plouffe, we do April Fool's episodes now.
Genius.
Yeah.
We
All the
did
good
before, they were
ideas
just called Your
came
Picks.
after I left.
Oh, boom! Oh, roasted myself there.
Yeah, I remember getting into my buddy's car at the time, and he put that on, and I was like, "What's this? This is great." And he was like, "It's a new Gorillaz album." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I can't remember if I bought the CD like right away or if I picked it up later, but yeah, fell in love with it and like right away. This was also my first real introduction to MF Doom. I just love
Yeah.
November Has Come. It's one of my favorite Doom tracks
November
of all
Has Come is a
time.
great song. Dude.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later,
Interesting.
but I think it's a great track.
It rhymes good.
Yeah, he does do the rhymes good. I think that this one just has like a ton of great songs. And I don't think there's a single necessarily bad song on the album, but there are a few that I would definitely cut because this thing is a bit long at 50 minutes.
It's uneven.
It's a little uneven, and they kind of go back and forth throughout it, but I find it like it's really spooky and kind of haunting.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of why I like it so much. And so even the tracks that are a little weirder,
They're in the apocalypse.
I still like it. Yeah.
Yeah, the environmental apocalypse.
Yeah. It's heating up.
Wall.
It is kind of a concept album.
Yeah.
About personal demons and human society and their innate capability to destroy itself and the environment. And so a lot of the songs are about environmental destruction, violence in the streets,
Yep,
and how
war.
it's kind of put into our children from a young age.
Yep.
And it's pretty cool. I also find it a little uneven, and I think that it is very neat. But I've also had my time with this album, and I find the kind of quirks about it to be a little less fun, because
Sure.
I find they are able to fully develop the ideas in future albums a lot better. Even some tracks on this, like I would actually say November Has Come is just a worse version of All Alone. It's like
What?
November Has
What?
Come for in the way of like integrating a rapper into a song.
No.
100%. November
It's
Has Come
so
is just
good.
letting MF Doom rap and then just
Yeah.
a little hook.
It's Doom.
Versus
That's
I
what
feel
you
like
should do.
November or All Alone is interesting on both sides of the Gorillaz and its feature.
I
and
could
then future
see-
albums get just better at integrating the Gorillaz part and the rapper part.
Are you saying that like it just felt like it was a Doom track?
Yeah,
And
it's just
then
like
also
the
there was
November Has Come
Damon
hook
Albarn
is
on
just
the
boring.
chorus.
And
Oh, I love the little hook. Oh, my November.
I think,
has
yeah,
come.
that's like
yeah,
one
but
of
that's it's just that's it. They just repeat
So?
that and that's it. It's just not that interesting.
I don't know. You don't
especially
need
when
it.
you look at other MF Doom tracks. Well, I mean, we'll talk the song later. But I just feel like there's a lot of ideas here. Even like the instruments used are very cool, but they're just it's kind of just left a little basic at times. Or the way of being like, here's one thing and then orchestral part.
Yeah.
Which again they
That-
just don't mix together super well on
that
this
happens.
album.
Yeah.
I think at the time it was probably very innovative, and the only reason I feel about this now is only because I've listened to this album so much,
Yeah.
and I own pretty much all of their albums on vinyl past this one,
Oh,
and
interesting.
I think that almost every single one is better.
You have a copy of Plastic Beach?
Yeah,
Man.
and it's fantastic.
I'm kind of jealous. I
And
do like
Humans
Plastic Beach.
is good and flawed,
I-
and Song Machine
mean,
is excellent.
I'm
I
also,
think every gorilla. One of the things that makes a Gorillaz project is its unevenness.
yeah, they're all super
Like they
different.
don't have anything where I'm like front to back pure awesome. Like it's because they try so many different sounds and so many different like mashups and genres that like none of it is smooth. But that's like part of the appeal.
Yeah. And artist
Maybe.
features. There's always so many every album.
Yeah, sometimes there's too many. Like on humans.
Yeah.
On Humans,
It's
I
just
agree.
interesting that you kind of brought a similar thing about talking about meshing the guest artists with the gorilla sound, because I think like Humans was one of the big criticisms of Humans is that it felt like it was a bunch of other people's music.
100%. I
Sure.
do like Humans. For the record, I have it on vinyl.
Me too.
I do like that record, but I agree that it is a little too feature heavy. But it's funny because I actually also don't like Damon that much when he's alone. Like that's my complaint on a few of these tracks is when it's just Damon singing, even if it's him adding his own backing vocals as a second layer. I like that so much more than like just Damon Albarn.
He's got an interesting sound. I'm a huge Damon Albarn fan. I have his single, like solo work as well on vinyl, and I love his voice. I can easily understand someone's like, I don't like it at all. Like it's very unique sounding.
I like
even like
it.
the accent and the falsetto work. It's all very, very unique to him. I really enjoy it, and the sounds in there. And I feel like when it is just him, the instrumental experimentation kind of works a bit better there as well.
Yeah, I like Blur.
What do you think, Jamie?
Oh, I like this album. This album was pretty good when it came out. I recall a lot of my recall a lot of my friends talking about it. And I remember listening to a number of the songs from the album because the one local alternative station was also playing this album quite heavily. It was featured heavily on Much Music still, because Much Music was still showing music videos in 2005.
These music videos are so good.
And
Yeah.
also like I think because of the collaboration with like Adult Swim for so much of this.
Yes, certainly. Sure.
Like there was so many music videos to show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is probably my favorite Gorillaz album. I haven't really listened to much of their other stuff. Like I've listened to Humans, but I haven't listened to some of the other stuff. I know they have like a bazillion albums now.
I mean 8.
It's not that
yeah.
many.
They have 8.
I mean, eight is a lot.
Fair enough.
I guess for
It
a
is.
band that's been around for 25, 27 years.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I'm not keeping up with them every day. This is probably my favorite. I really like a lot of the songs on here, and some of the ones that weren't released as singles I quite enjoy as well. But really, I'm here for Feel Good Inc. and Dare.
Yeah.
Dare is quite good.
Dare
I guess if
is
you
so
don't
good.
know the Gorillaz, just Gorillaz.
Yeah.
listen to our first episode just for the history, then turn it off. But it's Damon Albarn and Jamie Hewlett. Jamie Hewlett is the animator because this is an animated band.
Yep.
They've ripped off Prozac.
And
I don't want to reuse all of my jokes from the first episode. But yeah, they've been around for ages. Damon Albarn is in Blur
So they ripped
and
off
a bunch
Archie?
of other famous bands.
Okay.
Archie and the Archies, like the band the Archies,
Like Sugar Sugar?
the original virtual band the Archies.
I didn't know about them,
Huh.
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah, I didn't get too much in the history because I figured, we've already covered that.
Yeah, we have. And
Yeah.
Plouffe explicitly has also talked about this. So, but yeah, they've been around for ages, extremely popular, still making music. But I want to know Adam's thoughts about Demon Days.
Listen, everybody likes the Gorillaz.
Gorillaz.
Everyone likes Gorillaz.
It really should
There's
be
a question. Okay, one thing, aftercare question. I'm going to put it out here right now so
Could
you guys can
100
think
men?
about it in advance. Could 100 men
Take
fight
the
off a
gorillas?
single gorilla?
100% they could.
Yeah, the answer is yes. We don't
Yeah.
use waste.
No. It depends. We'll talk about the arena.
Gorillas aren't very
later.
big. They're strong, but they're small.
Yeah, I have another
Dude,
question.
you're
I'd rather ask.
dying so hard. If the
Oh,
gorilla
I'm
fight,
not
for
saying
sure.
that most people would die. You'd kill like 60 dudes, but
Ah,
eventually
okay,
they would just
okay.
overpower
Yeah, I
us.
agree.
100 people would win.
The girl's gonna get tired.
Oh, yeah.
I
Anyways,
can gouge a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
um,
Imagine if like 100 people just dogpiled on
guys,
a
this is
gorilla.
the aftercare question.
Okay.
Everyone likes the gorillas. I just said the gorillas. I have it written down as the gorillas, which is foolish, like an imbecile. cut. From hip hop heads to indie rock queens to Britpop obsessives, pretty much everyone can find something to love in Damon Albarn's virtual experimental pop band, and this is their peak. I think this is where everything
This
meshes.
is the peak.
This
the
is the
second
peak.
album. They're already heading down.
100%.
I don't think they've achieved anything. I love Plastic Beach.
Yeah, it's great.
But I don't think they've. This is like just their best thing, which doesn't mean that I'm not. It's not to the detriment of any of their other works. It's just that it's their best thing. It's where everything like works and hits the best. One thing that I found really interesting that I didn't know was that this was produced
By Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because Danger Mouse only just rose to prominence like the year before
Yeah.
because of the Grey album, which was a remix album of Jay-Z's The Black Album and the Beatles' The White Album.
Yeah, and it got him sued.
And- Yeah, well, he
Getting sued by the Beatles is notorious.
it's dumb because like I don't know, yeah, the whole thing's dumb. It's a cool listen. It's really cool listen, worthwhile. It's okay, but it's just like such a fascinating experiment, and it was became kind of a hype thing because it was so because of the lawsuit
Yeah.
plus the ability how quickly it was taken off of shelves despite being a semi-official release.
Yeah, I got to do that again. Cut.
It's not on my thing.
The middle. You'd be surprised.
Despite being like a semi-official release and being kind of pulled out of from sales and stuff, it was heavily circulated online. And Danger Mouse would go on to produce like tons of huge albums, like the 3 best Black Keys albums, or
Dude.
at least the best-selling ones.
2005, he released Danger Doom with MF Doom.
Yeah,
Like literally 5 or 6 months later in October, he did Danger Doom.
yeah. And Damon Albarn basically heard the Grey album and was like, I want to work with this guy. And this is like I think the only album where he has like
I love you, Langley.
I'm so sorry.
Cut.
Cut.
And I think maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but this might be the only album by the Gorillaz where it's really just one producer.
I
usually
don't know
pulls
for
in other
sure, but I want to
producers.
say yes because he does typically use a lot of like that's part of the problem with Humans, right? Was I think not only did it feature a lot of people, but there was a lot of producers on that album as well, if I recall correctly.
But one thing I noticed is that like Danger Mouse's versatility is kind of all over this, and what Danger Mouse has been really good is what he's really good at is allowing artists to bring in experimental sounds and change their sound in a pop direction, and mesh all those disparate kind of aspects. Like one of my favorite albums, Wide Awake by Parquet Courts, was also produced by Danger Mouse, and it was the same thing where the band was exploring more and more sounds than they ever had before, and through Danger Mouse's guidance was able to like blend them into the most successful and probably one of the more accessible albums in their catalog. This is a great, even if it is an uneven album, and I'm excited to talk about it.
I thought it was also interesting that this is one of the final features of Ike Turner on any album. He died 2 years after this came out, but he didn't he didn't really put anything out after that.
Huh.
But Ike Turner, famously the husband of Tina Turner, also like wildly influential in music, kind of a man.
Wasn't he a real piece of work? Though?
Yeah, I thought he beat the hell out of Tina.
Yeah, but yes. That is part of it. Also, he huge cocaine addict.
Hell
The documentary about his rise to fame and like his subsequent crash down is very fascinating, but wildly influential in a lot of music, but also a scumbag.
Also, there's only 3 producers on Humans, just to correct myself.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Still 3, though, not 1.
Why don't we give it one last listen, boys? What do you think?
Why don't we give it one last listen? Wow, the intro, and it's spooky. I like the oboe or whatever that main instrument is. It's so good.
The samples from the movie Dawn of the Dead,
Sure.
Oh, I didn't know that.
the original Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah,
And a different one of their songs that didn't release.
Yes.
Or it went to somebody else and then
Yeah,
it became
yeah.
a feature instead of one of their songs.
Yeah.
Who put the chemicals in the food chain? I don't know.
So true.
Monsanto, probably.
Yeah, it's kind of relevant to the environmentalism aspect. It sets the simple, dark mood. It's short, it's inoffensive, and it does the job.
yeah. I like how unsettling it is. And I like
Extremely.
the random. I don't normally like sirens in songs, but I mean, for like a weird intro, the ambulance sirens kind of work.
Reminds me of from D-Side's Hong Kongaton.
Sure.
Because it's very similar. It just goes Hong Kongaton. And then you get Last Living Souls.
Starts off with a really crappy drum sample and then builds from it.
Yeah, crappy isn't like low quality.
I like
I
it.
agree.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's weird because it's repetitive, but it's not like it never bothers me as I listen to this song. I think he changes things up enough every time that it's like just enough that it doesn't feel repetitive, whether it's like a new sound popping up or he changes the lyrics slightly. I don't know. I like the extra backup vocals near the end.
Yeah, the really crunchy bass and guitar work.
Yeah, slowly comes in.
The little drum machine. It makes you think that the production value is going to be really low, but then at I think it's like 40 seconds, all of a sudden things kind of jump up a bit, and then a minute 25, the production value jumps up even more with more instruments, effects, and layers of vocals. It's really good, and the lyrics are just about. I guess I don't really know, but I just assumed it's not like, are we literally the last people alive, but the last people with souls because of the whole, fall of civilization morally. It's like, are we the last ones who care? The last ones in the sun and stuff like that. It's kind of cool.
I kind of always tied it into the later track, Every Planet We Reach is Dead, and how they are the last living people, and they're like, I don't know if they're traveling the universe and looking for life or whatever, but I always imagined it was like the last, literally.
Well, the next
last
song, then they're like, oh, there's kids with guns everywhere. So
Yeah.
I'm like, they can't be the last ones alive. But yeah, I like it. I like the little acoustic bridge at a minute 40. It's kind of what I mentioned, how lots of songs will have this transcendent moment where it's very light. It doesn't work in every track, but in this one, I think it kind of works just to be like, again, set the scene. What do you think, Adam?
I love the dub bass on this.
Yeah.
It's such a cool kind of there's a lot of reggae and Afro beat influence on this album that's really well done. And I think that the way this song releases into the acoustic section is really, really great. And it's a great opener. It sets a cool tone that while feeling separate and a lot less scary than the intro, it's still kind of a dour tone in its own right. But yeah, it's a great opening track, and it's such a cool vibe. And the way it plays with texture is what allows the repetitiveness of the song to really be okay. Because when you come back to the original beat, but instead you have it backed by those strings, it brings that extra bit of texture and momentum to the track that allows him to just do the same thing again.
Yeah,
but there's also the weird synths in the back. It's and you're like, sure.
He definitely fills it out.
It's a really cool track.
Then we get Kids with Guns.
This is probably my favorite song on the album. And if
Banger.
it's not my favorite, then there's like a top 3 that are constantly changing in my mind.
Absolutely, yeah.
I love it. I think the whole thing is just super catchy. I love the like falsetto and they're turning us into monsters. Like that's great. I think the bass line is like super simple but crazy effective. It's really just a couple of notes pretty much. And I think it's got a great instrumental outro that transitions super nicely into the next song.
Yeah, it's another simple song, but I think it uses simplicity a little bit better with Albarn's singing still being the main focus, but the pulsing droning in the background, the female backup vocals, and the prominent bass work being a little bit more engaging to me. There's also just more going on lyrically, which helps. The song's apparently about an experience where Damon's daughter was at school and a kid had brought a knife to school to show,
wild.
been like, look how cool this thing is that I found. And just triggered this idea of a future where violence was so ingrained in our children that they had guns. They,
was
they
normalized.
were trying to be safe, and it's just all they know is death and destruction, which is a dark idea, but cool. And I really like the way things are executed here.
I always assumed that he wrote it about Columbine, but then released it later.
No,
But yeah, that makes sense too.
allegedly not.
Yeah.
It's such a good song.
Yeah.
The guitar and the bass, like, just very subtly plucked, with that really close miking on it, sounds so good.
Easy does
The
it.
super dry snare.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like it's like hitting like a piece of sand.
They do that with the drums a few times on a few different tracks where it's like all close cymbals or like a really tight snare or all rim. All rim shots. They I feel like they do that a lot in this album.
It gives the song like a nice amount of space. Like there's a lot of reverb in this track, and that like allows you to really focus in on kind of the like almost mournful vocal performance. But it's like also super groovy and has that really simple like arpeggio over top.
Yeah.
It's just like every element feels considered, and it's just it's the total amount that you need. You don't need a more complex guitar part. You don't need a different bass line. You just get a little bit, and then when it comes in at the end, when it builds up with the like big, huge kind of like the white noise kind of coming in, the super washy cymbals is really cool. And it's something they do a couple of times on here where they kind of are like, what if instead of like they just build the track into kind of a noisier space, and it's really cool.
I think it works really well, especially when you're combining it with the very lazy vocals. Kids with guns. Kids with guns.
Easy does it.
Like it's just like it's falling out of him. It's so good. Then you get Oh Green World.
So at the beginning it has like this little like water drop sounding synth part.
It's like a loop. Is it like a looped guitar thing? It's really weird.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's in the like the left channel only, and then it goes away. But I really liked it. I wish they had kept it up.
When you mean the water drop, you don't mean the like. You mean the whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah,
like
that
they were
part.
talking about.
I
I thought you were talking about like the like
loop.
looped guitar
Yeah.
bit at the start.
Yeah, it just sounds like. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
But then it goes whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah,
whoop.
I know what you're
sick
talking
as
about
hell.
now. I was a little confused at first.
It just sounds like water dropping. Yeah.
Sure.
I-
It's very off kilter. I like the farty synths too. It's
Yeah.
sharp, really processed strings. And then the like almost slide whistle thing that's tucked away in the left speaker. It's very unique. And the backing vocalizing that comes in for the chorus is awesome.
Yo,
So good.
the song is about pollution. Yeah. Bell's nodding. This isn't a video podcast.
That's fine. I just have
Why is
nothing
it
to
like
add to
it's
that.
got like it sounds like a parrot. He's like rah, rah, rah. I think this song is too long for what it is.
I don't know.
I'm okay with it.
I like the length. Mostly because it's like the deep stack that starts around 3 minutes and 10 seconds. It just like things are getting overwhelming again. I like it a lot. It feels really engaging to me. And then it's just cut out and replaced with a wind chime sounding drone that plays until the end of the song. It's neat. I don't think it really stands out, but I do enjoy my time listening to it. I think I just like the little... I think I like the driving riff enough.
Yeah,
that it keeps me
I
going.
don't like how he's like oh. I don't like the way he goes oh as
You
opposed
don't
to
like
like
that
saying
one?
ah.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I like
don't
the
know.
weird. I like the backing vocals.
Also, he does the radio voice thing. I think it's not that bad, but I know that we could. It's a
oh,
common
for
complaint.
the
Like,
green world. Yeah, it sounds
like
like it's coming from a
the-
radio. Yeah,
um,
I don't mind because you can understand what he's saying.
it's pretty clear. Yeah, the filter or whatever isn't super bad. I really like the sort of explosion thing that happens, like about a little over or a little under halfway, and then the whole. I think the whole song is like super weird, but then I think it works well. Like everything kind of meshes together. And I also really like the slight lyric flip from Don't Desert Me Now to Don't Deserve Me Now in the second half. And then I like the spooky bell in the outro. Not this bell.
I just think my issue with this song is that it sounds like they played the same song twice.
Oh.
Is that there's not enough development in the second half. I just
Sure.
hear them play the song twice in a row.
Yeah, that's
sure.
Sure.
That's fair.
That's actually fair. Sure.
Yeah, it's not a bad song. I want to make it clear. Any criticisms I throw at songs on this album, I don't skip tracks when I listen to this album.
Yeah,
I just play the whole
certainly.
thing through because it's
100%.
cool. Even though I might be like, okay, let's get the Dirty Harry. Let's get to that song.
I stop it a little early. We'll get to that later, but I typically end the album a little early. But yeah, Dirty Harry.
Yeah, the first standout song.
Oh.
I would say this is like
Really?
the one
Really?
I think Kids with Guns is the
Yeah,
clear
or
standout.
for like just
Or
not
Green
people
World.
to more likely recognize.
Okay.
Really?
I
Yeah,
think
Kids
because
with
this had
Guns
a
is
music
also
video.
very
Yeah.
huge. Kids with Guns also had a music video. Oh no, the music video for Kids with Guns sucks.
No, yeah, this is the
It's
one
just
where
a
they're in
bunch
the
of pictures
desert.
of guns.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just a visualizer. This is like when they're in the desert with all the kids choir.
Yeah.
The kids choir in itself is like very standout.
Yes.
And it's about all about war and the effect it has on us, the
Yep.
fear it instills, which causes people to arm themselves and start to commit preemptive violence to feel safe, which is an interesting concept and a scary thought. When you realize it's probably reality, people live it. You hear about people getting shot in the States all the time,
yeah.
assuming other people have guns or weapons. So
I like how it's
Crazy.
like a 2-minute intro and then Booty Brown just like comes in, crushes it hard.
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy.
good.
Like hard. Like I love Dirty Harry's great, but sometimes I just want to hear him rap for those last few verses because it's like it's just so good.
Booty Brown has some really good lines. On
Yeah,
this
he
one.
does.
Yeah.
The Seeking and Searching like Nimoy line is great. Leonard Nimoy had a show on TV called In Search of.
Yeah,
It's
he
pretty
did.
good.
Yeah, he did. I forgot about that.
And then he rhymes something with Isuzu,
Yeah,
and I was like, "That's so good, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good lines.
Um,
It's aggressive with being graded and sells the whole "I'm a soldier with PTSD." I like the lines on constant alert from the constant hurt. You can't conceal the hate that consumes you. And at night I hear the shots ring. So I'm a light sleeper. The cost of life, it seems to get cheaper. It just all really sells that a lot. There's references to George Bush when he tried to declare the Iraq War over, and then it continued for
Yup.
a long time afterwards. It's crazy stuff.
I like the chatter at the end, and I like the laughter because I think the laughter kind of helps it bleed really well into Feel Good Inc. as well.
It's very dynamic.
Yeah.
It feels very big, and like this was what they wanted to make, and they did it. They've executed it fully.
And it's a verse like it is the most aggressive the album has gotten at any point so far.
It's probably the most aggressive it ever gets, unless I'm forgetting a song. I think that this is about as hard as the album goes.
Yeah, and it's just like that build is so good.
Yeah, it really is.
And
It-
that cool string, that string part is such a good line.
yeah.
With the legato strings just kind of like
Mm.
over the like super kind of breakbeat almost rhythms behind the raps. It's so cool. This song slaps. Absolute highlight. And then we go to the big hit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the big song. Probably the first Gorillaz song people heard was Feel
It
Good
was the
Inc.
first one I heard. I jumped into my buddy's car and he was playing Feel Good Inc. and I was like, this is wild. What is it?
I had heard Clint Eastwood because that had been heavily featured years before.
The
Oh, sure.
actual
I
first
meant on
Gorillaz
this
songs
album.
I had heard was 2000.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good
get
song.
the cool.
Yeah.
Get the cool. Because there was a Gorillaz game on addictinggames.com.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
where you
didn't
drive
know.
the car.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
I
you
just
drive the
played it,
buggy.
and that was the only song that you got in that
100%. On the
game.
highway,
So I had
yeah.
heard that song before I had heard this.
Yeah, it's a good
I
song.
had heard Clint Eastwood, and that was featured on like Big Shiny Tunes
Yeah.
6, maybe.
Another big music video song.
Yeah.
For
Great
sure.
song.
But yeah, it's instantly iconic. The laugh, the bass line to kick off the song, and immediately gets anyone in the area who can hear the song hyped up. Like
Yeah,
immediately.
and the music video is good. Murdoch gets some good nipple action in there,
Ooh.
He does.
It's also got De La Soul
Yeah.
featured on
which
it,
is,
which is
but it only has like one. It only has True Night.
It's like when someone says, "Hey, Wu-Tang's coming," and it's like Ghostface Killer, and that's it.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, you get Ghostface killing like Red
to
Man
be
and one other
fair,
guy.
everyone from De La Soul is pretty good. So the fact
Yes.
that they got anyone,
It was just weird. I just thought it was interesting that like
didn't list a
they didn't
single artist.
discredit him
Yeah.
as Trugoy the Dove. They were like, it's De La Soul.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because De La Soul's more recognizable than
100%
than
is.
any of the
Yeah.
either of the MCs in it, but
Yeah. The line lining them up like ass cracks. So good.
I don't know what it is about the whole like watch me as I gravitate. I just love that.
Such an
It's
incredible
so good.
verse.
It's a very accessible verse, but still adds a little bit of something to the song. The contrast between the De La Soul parts and Damon's sleepy, floaty vocals, the acoustic guitar playing, so good.
Yeah.
This song won the Grammy Award for Best Pop Collaboration.
Damn straight it did.
I believe it.
Why? The lyrics he says, do you hear him saying Shaba, Shabada, Shabadaka?
No.
Oh,
When because it goes feel good. Shabada, Shabadaka. I don't
always
hear
heard he
Shabada
said it
or
no.
Shabadaka.
I always heard shook me with the temper. That's what I've always heard.
I don't know what he's saying, but I just didn't think.
I think it's just shook me with the temper. I think that's what it is.
I
It
don't know.
sounds
That's
similar
like what the
enough,
lyrics
honestly.
say it is, and I'm like,
It doesn't sound
Yeah.
so different that I wouldn't.
I
say
always thought it
doesn't
was
say
just
that.
a percussive like something. It was a percussive mouth noise, which I guess is what it is. But it's just there's not a Shabadaka. Okay,
No.
Sure.
there was a Sha for sure.
Yeah, I've heard this song a million times. I don't think I would choose it over Dare, but I do still like this. If you haven't heard this song, I'd be very impressed though. 'Cause
Right?
It truly is everywhere.
Yeah. How do you avoid this?
Feel good.
I just like the whole windmill imagery on Damon's parts.
Yeah.
The vinyl pop that's over it.
I
It's
want
funny.
I want to turn like a windmill. There's also some claps, I think, and I don't know if they're claps or not, but I like them.
There's claps.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
There's so many like kind of little layers the way they
Totally.
like, kind of like thoughtful,
Yeah.
like not really thoughtful, but pensive guitar that's over top of the whole song.
If you've listened to the whole album at this point and it hasn't made you want to move, this is the song that will make you want to move. And if it doesn't, you might be dead inside.
And you'll feel dead inside. Listen to the next song, El Mañana, which will make you sad.
Yeah.
This is a sleeper favorite on the album. I love
Really?
this song. This has been one of my go-to tracks from Demon Days, but I never hear anyone talk about it ever. I love the slower, softer feel here. It has a very rainy day feeling.
Yeah.
The soft singing, the police sirens, the levels and layers of instruments. It just feels like things are happening and changing around Damon's singing, which adds this feeling of isolation and sadness as he sings. As he sings about numbness and loss. There's also a really good remix on the D sides called it's El Mañana Metronomy mix. It's very, very good. But yeah, I just love this song.
This is one of the only ones I'd cut.
Sheesh.
It's still good.
There are a few songs I'd cut. This is not one.
This and the last two are the only ones I cut. It's still good and it fits the album. But I don't know, like it's pretty chill and I don't skip it ever. But like
If you don't like Damon's voice, you
That's
won't like
it.
this song.
that's
Yeah.
it. And it's funny because I like Damon in other things. Like I love Blur. I like other Gorillaz songs where he sings a bunch, but it's just something about this one that's his singing and voice specifically that just, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me on this track.
I really like this bass liney part that comes in around like 110. I don't know how to describe it. It sounds like a bass line. That's what I'm calling it. It could be a synth. Who knows? And then there's like a little wah-wah guitar part that comes in right after that part. So good.
Yeah, and they have strings at 230.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And they had backup vocals for the final few lines of the song.
That's the part I like.
I think this is a great demonstration of like how idiosyncratic a lot of the palettes are on these Gorillaz songs, where you have these weird like boopy synths, this almost like pseudo like Muzak like kind of keyboard in the background, these like broken breakbeat trip hop type drums over like a sad mournful vocal. If I had to pull those out of a hat and make a song with all those parts, I would not be able to assemble something that's so coherent and good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool how this song comes together, and I think it is a great track. And it feels kind of like a turning point in the album to me. Maybe it's just because it's like almost literally the halfway point. But there's something about like this kind of feels like a
It slows things down for sure.
yeah. And then we get to the next track.
Every planet we reach is dead. I'd say this is another underrated banger.
Oh yeah, I
agree.
love
This
this
is
song.
what a groove.
Yeah.
It feels more experimental. They're just like, keep it going.
Yeah.
It's the longest song on the album at just under 5 minutes. And there's some amazing instrumentation in here with some sweet potato. And there's some amazing instrumentation here with a sweet piano solo, beautiful string work, and a ton of noise for the last like 2 minutes of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that part of the song. Like, oh, if I could just, I'm like listening to get to the end of the song.
Yeah.
I love the guitar line. It's
like-
like so good.
The way it handles texture again is what makes this like kind of what is essentially like a plodding riff, but it's also like the way the drums are like not really swung, but the instruments are gives this like kind of drunk and super laid back, super stonery like head bob feel. That's really cool. I think it is a little too long,
It's a little long.
and I also don't like Al Barnes' vocals
Yeah.
on here. But the way it builds is so cool, and the piano solo is really cool.
I find that his vocals are a lot more tasteful on this one. I think it's just because he doubles himself up a couple of times.
I think he has a garbage falsetto. And whenever he uses his falsetto, which he uses almost
the
all of
time.
El Mañana is layered with his falsetto. And this song, he uses his falsetto to make harmonize with himself. It's bad.
No, it's just real. It's raw in a way that I enjoy it.
I respect that.
Jamie, what do you think?
I like the song. It's it's apparently about a lost relationship with Mother Nature. That's the girl that they keep referencing in the lyrics. And then of course the piano solo is the part contributed by Ike Turner. And it's a pretty good piano solo. But yeah, no, I don't mind that it's the longest song on the album. I think it's pretty good. Yeah.
What do you think about the next song?
I love this next song.
November Has Come.
No, yeah.
It's a rap heavy song featuring a podcast favorite, MF Doom.
Your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
And as I said earlier, I think the song is only okay. The chorus is cool, and I like MF Doom, but it just feels like a vessel to have him rap instead of feeling like a Gorillaz song, which is not what am looking for in a Gorillaz album, I guess. I don't really know what would fix it. Maybe having like a bridge or a more engaging chorus, but I got neither on this, so
It's
I
a
like
shame
the
that you
chorus.
can't dig it like a spigot.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite line. I don't know what it is about that. Can you dig it like a spigot? Because then he goes into like da 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 after, and it's gold.
It's such a good beat.
It is, and Doom crashes in on it, and then I actually really like the chorus. I think they're both. I think the chorus is super catchy, and that makes it easy for me to sing Damon's part if I can't memorize all of Doom's stuff, which isn't easy.
He references "Can I Kick It" by A Tribe Called Quest.
He does,
which is
Wicked.
a great song.
Yeah.
He references Wicked,
Like
the musical Wicked, when he says the word wicked.
I do like that said "Nah for real," the villain on a Gorilla John.
That part's so
Yeah.
good. I like Crank It on Blast, Roll Past Front Street, blew the whole spot like some old ass with skunk meat. It's like pure Doom, and I just love Doom.
This just made me go and listen to some other, like from Food.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna go listen to Raps and Dishes. I'll go listen to
And that's great.
Friends.
But that's part of why I like Gorillaz, is because I have always seen it as a way to introduce myself to new artists that are featured on Gorillaz albums that I'd never heard of before. Dell's. Well, actually, I was introduced to Dell before Gorillaz, but yeah, a good example.
Yeah.
Like they feature so many artists that you might have never heard of, and then I don't know, it gives Doom the spotlight and he takes it away, and I really love November Has Come. It's one of my favorite Doom tracks of all time.
Yeah, this is such a top shelf verse from him.
Right? Super chill.
well,
You get All Alone.
the song I prefer, I think it's the backing track is just more unique. It's quirky synths. It's got a bit more of an interesting chorus, a more intense backing track for the rap, and the bridge to switch things up and keep things moving forward. Roots Manuva's verse is also very memorable because he's practically like yelling over the beat. I just love that intensity.
Truly thought I was mishearing him my entire. I never really looked at the lyrics for this song. I thought my entire life I was missing hearing him saying when he said Deuteronomy. I was like, he's saying Deuteronomy, but I don't know what he's actually saying. And I looked it up. I was like, oh,
He's saying
he's
Deuteronomy.
saying that's me. So that's me at church every Sunday. Deuteronomy,
I didn't know that was what we were saying too. I never
Leviticus,
understood.
Deuteronomy.
I never put that together.
And
at
then his
all.
verse references some of the stories from those books in the Bible.
Return of the Ogar.
It's such a cool beat. And great rapping over top of this like off kilter.
I didn't realize he was a British rapper until I looked him up. But
He sounds like a
He does
very
all
much
this.
sounds like a British rapper.
I wouldn't know. The only British rapper I know is Goldie Looking Chain. They're great. Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie.
I think they're Welsh. So maybe I
I've
should-
never heard of them.
Wow, now you've just offended 10,000
A dozen people, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. I like the beat change for Martina Topley Bird's bridge. It's a big shift with it being so floaty with acoustic guitar strings and spacey sound effects, but you know you should be used to it by now on this album. It happens a lot. It's just a very memorable song to me.
There's like the ooh, dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I just love that. I love it.
Yeah,
It's so good.
It's a cool song. Also, cool to hear I think is this like the first female vocal that we really hear on the album?
There's
Well,
some,
there was Noodle. Nena Cherry was on.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some like backing vocals as well.
Yeah, this is like the first like lead. I think that's like straight ahead female lead, which
Sure,
is cool.
Certainly, yeah.
That's a great performance. They could end the album. They could toss Dare after this and then end the album.
Interesting.
They could do that.
Interesting.
I like White Light.
I don't know. I think All Alone is okay. It's pretty repetitive. The backing track is weirdly very good,
Yeah,
and that's about
Like
how I feel
rollicking.
about. I just like all alone. I think it's weird. I like all the weird stuff on this album. Big surprise. And
Then you like White Light.
no, surprisingly, White Light's okay, but it reminds me of like a worse version of Feel Good Hit of the Summer, and so I like it, and I don't skip it typically.
Feel Good Hit of the Summer. What is that?
By Queens of the Stone Age.
No, I don't.
Says
Nicotine value,
Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, and alcohol.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Cocaine.
You know.
I don't know. It's just kind of boring. It says the same thing over and over. I don't like how much I can hear him breathing on the mic. I think that's my biggest
This
issue.
song is all distortion but no power.
Yeah, that's a
Right?
good way to put
Like,
it. That's
if
a
they
good way to put it.
if the guitars didn't sound so tinny, if there was a fuller sound,
Yeah.
there was more energy behind it,
I'd
I
probably
wouldn't
like
mind it. But it's just like noisy and repetitive and boring.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, White Light. Like, shut up.
Well, I enjoy the song. I think it's memorable. It's different. It's very weird. It's just him shouting White Light over and over with the basic drums and bass and the crunch. But it's like texture that's kind of needed. I like the contrast on how smooth everything else is. It almost feels like an interlude or a palate cleanser before this final stretch. It's not one I'm going to be like, I got to put this on a
crank White
playlist and
Light.
go back to it. But if it's on, I'm going to leave it on. If I'm in my car, I'm going to turn it up.
I don't
It's also
skip
not
it.
long.
I
So
don't
it's like whatever.
Totally. And I don't skip it. It's just out of all the other tracks on the album, I would probably pick it like as one of the last if I'm ranking them.
Yeah, again, if I have to get rid of songs, sure, it's going to be one.
Sure.
No way I'm going to skip it. No way I'm going to choose to get rid of it, though. And I'm definitely not going to get rid of the next song.
It's coming up.
Dare.
Oh God, the best song in the album. Okay,
Definitely better than Feel Good Inc.
sure.
IMO.
I like them both.
It's fun.
Yes.
It is just fun
It's
and light.
tough.
I like his accent.
Oh,
it's Dare.
It's dead.
Do you believe the rumor that it was actually supposed to be It's There, and this is just his accent? So they were like, haha, that's funny. It's going to be called Dare instead, and they rewrote it.
I wouldn't surprise me.
He says no. Damon says yes, that his accent was funny. And they rewrote it to be Dare.
I would believe Damon out of anyone because it's his album. And I also don't understand what It's Dare is supposed to mean. And so like I just don't understand the song. Like I love Dare, don't get me wrong. I love the song, but I don't understand the chorus.
Especially with the intro being the rapper telling him to lift
Yeah.
the music up in his headphones. He's
Yeah.
saying it's coming up
It's
to be
coming
like,
up, it's coming
getting
up,
louder.
it's there. Makes
Yeah.
so much more sense. I don't know. I like the spooky vocals just before like a minute. It's kind of like a haunted choir.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
it's such a great little like left turn entirely. They're like,
Yeah.
It's got a funky beat, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. It's almost danceable.
I would say it is danceable.
fully danceable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
can't
almost.
dance, so
Yeah, I find like Feel Good Inc. It's almost a little too unique. Like the laughing gets a little annoying to me when it comes on. Yeah. Welcome to the circus of values. But this is just
come
like
back
so
when you have
simple.
more money.
Yeah. Whereas this is just so simple. It's so good. There isn't even really a bridge. It's just like a fun club beat the whole time.
Yeah.
yeah, I too dream of being a large head in Noodle's apartment.
Yeah, she just dances
Yeah,
around.
the music video is great for this song.
Very, very good.
It's kind of long.
It's,
it's
good
good.
for 4 minutes. It's like a dance.
Yeah.
It's a dance track length.
Yeah.
You know what else is? Not the next song.
No.
Fire Coming Out of the Monkey's Head. A weird little spoken word song that I skip every time.
What? How can
I
you
don't
skip
like
Fire
this,
Coming
man.
Out of a Monkey's Head? It's
It's
so
neat in
good.
theory, but I don't want to listen to spoken word.
So
Oh,
I like the humming in the background of the verses.
yeah, it's good.
so
Oh,
this is narrated by Dennis Hopper. He was
I don't know who he is.
wow. Okay. Anyway, Dennis Hopper was most famous at this point for being in the movie Easy Rider, which is like I don't know how to describe it. It's one of those road movies where an anti-hero is out on a
Oh, that's the motorcycle one, right?
yeah, the
The
motorcycle
old
one.
'60s movie where
Yeah.
he's smuggling drugs and then he dies at the end.
Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
spoiler! Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
great
sorry, I
movie.
spoiled a movie from the '60s.
Yeah, it was famous for featuring Jimi Hendrix on
Yeah.
the soundtrack. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
Great.
cool. Yeah,
I think it also has The Pusher or Born to Be Wild is on it.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. It's a big motorcycle movie. That's pretty much half the movie. Is just watching a
Anyway,
motorcycle.
Dennis
around.
Hopper is like his sidekick in the movie.
Yeah, 'cause
He's
isn't
in
that a-
Speed.
Was he
Oh,
in
isn't
Speed?
isn't he
Sure.
the villain? He's the villain.
bad guy in
Speed.
Speed.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the song's about because I truly do skip it every time. I think it's like Pompeii though. They have except for they mine for stuff and then they accidentally activate the volcano.
It's like a parable
They
about
want more
about
resources.
mining
Yeah, the
resources and
covenant-
not caring about Mother Earth.
I assumed it was just a legend or something, but yeah, parables.
Yeah, they want the jewels and then the volcano erupts and they all die.
Yeah.
I do like the sudden ending though. It's just like, oh yeah, no, they're all dead, and then
There were
this
no
could happen to
screams.
you in the USA, and then it ends.
There was
I think
no
it's
time.
the last 3 songs of this album kind of form a suite in my opinion.
Sort of, yeah.
I always hear them as like they're really like a 9-minute continuous exploration of ideas because it is the like
They die and go to heaven.
yeah exactly
Yeah.
except for it takes too long. It's cool because I think it's probably the most experimental the whole album gets. Like to just be like, oh yeah, long spoken word track. That's like a cool, like a really cool beat. Like I love this
Yeah,
beat. Like I
me
listen
too.
to this because I don't even listen to the words, but the beat's just like wow, wow,
Yeah, that's good.
It's like so good.
And then it stops and does those like weird like acoustic kind of breakaways.
And then you get a
Yeah.
Beach Boys song or something. It's very random.
Sort of, yeah. Don't Get Lost in Heaven might as well be a Beach Boys song. Yeah, sure.
I don't. So I would just cut "Don't Get Lost in Heaven" and "Demon Days."
The
and I
choir
would-
work is so good though.
It
Like
is,
they're
but-
they're really sending it.
I just feel like the album's over at this point. Like they could have just ended when he says the mountain called Monkey had spoken, and then it's like boom, the album's over. I think that would have been way more like just cooler and impactful ending. Because I don't know, yeah, "Don't Get Lost in Heaven" is kind of fine on its own, but it feels like it's just a really long refrain.
Sure.
For Fire Coming Out of Monkey's Head.
Yeah,
and-
it's self-referential to the previous track, but
Yeah.
it's the prelude to the next track, Demon Days.
Hey, this is a fine enough song. The choral singing is very pretty. The little twangy like Hawaiian guitar is
it's
kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know the Beach Boys, so
Doesn't really sound that much like
We'll cover the Beach Boys one
doesn't?
day. It's just got choir. It just has layered choir vocals,
Yeah,
which is very.
It's just like such a
it sounds like Pet Sounds.
Yeah. Beach Boys is like
Is that Beach Boys?
that
Yes.
is the Beach Boys.
Nice, nailed it.
Beach Boys is like
It's a
closer.
song.
I don't want to say.
And then
doo-wop,
I Demon Days is
No, it's not doo-wop.
but
It's definitely not
no,
doo-wop. Yeah.
no, it's not doo-wop, but like it's not this either. I don't
Sorry,
know.
you're gonna say about Demon Days?
This is later Beach Boys. Back,
Okay, sure.
like-
I did not listen to later Beach Boys ever.
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
No.
you talking about like 80s Beach Boys?
No, not 80s Beach Boys. Like
Like
late
70s.
60s Beach Boys.
So the peak Beach Boys.
Peak. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I Get Around is Peach.
Yeah,
Peak-
that's what I
peak
think of
Beach
when I hear
Boys, yeah.
Beach Boys, and that's like get around, get.
What do you think about
around,
Pet Sounds
get
too, right?
around.
Yeah, Pet Sounds is.
And like Smiley Smile and
Yeah, Smiley Smile. Yeah, great.
anyways, Demon Days. As I said, I don't like Albarn's falsetto, and I get exclusively that for most of this track.
Oof.
Yeah, it's another song I like, but they could have just cut it.
The gospel choir, though. Oh,
It's cool, and it's like the reggae beat that comes in. I think that what they could have done is made a 6-minute or a 5-minute track of the last 3 songs, where we got a spoken word section, we got that little piece of heaven, and then we get the reggae outro of Demon Days, and end on
Sure.
like a cool conceptual track, as opposed to it taking like, I guess it's still like not that long. It's like 9, maybe 10 minutes. Those last 3 tracks.
Of a 50-minute album, though,
50 minutes is not that long.
it's not crazy long, but like if you're talking about 10 minutes out of a 50-minute album, that's a lot of the. It's a lot
Yeah,
of
it
the
is
album.
like it is 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think cut down Don't Get Lost in Heaven dramatically, because Demon Days is better in my
Yes.
opinion. And
Sure,
Fire
yeah,
in the
I
Monkey's
agree-
Head
I
could
agree
also
with
be
that.
cut in
No.
half.
No, never.
I think you make Fires in the Monkey Head. Fire Come Out of the Monkey's Head. You make that 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Don't Get Lost in Heaven. You make 45 seconds. Demon Days. You make 3 minutes, maybe less, and you got a great little track.
I think it'd be better. That's for sure.
Yeah, so it's just a little weird at the end. It feels like they kind of just put those songs at the end, and then they put Dare and White Light before it because
Because they're so good.
they're just like, okay.
It is nice
Those
that they
songs
didn't
go
put
here.
these songs in between the other tracks because I think these are kind of,
I
as
don't know.
I said, they kind of work as a suite and they're more conceptual.
What if it went after Oh Green World, and that was the middle of the album? So you have this one talking about the planet and your relationship with Mother Earth, talk about drilling, it happening, and then you move on. Every
might-
planet you reach is dead. Like
it
it's
might
after
work.
that.
It might work. I see Fire coming because I literally like after Fire coming out of the Monkey's Head, I usually just stop listening to the album because I don't know. I think it should end there. So for me, not having Fire at the end feels weird. But I wonder if it could work if it came after Oh Green World and then they went into something else after. I don't know.
Well, tell us about the album itself.
Well, it's pretty cool. It's a gatefold.
Get your Let It Be album cover.
It's got all 4 Gorillaz on the front there.
NFTs.
It's amazing that it copped the like Let It Be layout, and to me, because it's such good album artwork, I don't associate either of those albums entirely
I
like,
agree.
at all.
Me either.
It is
I
such a
never
good
thought
album
about
cover.
that once, but yeah, that's wild. I've never even considered that.
Describe what do we see?
Hold on. Well, we see all 4 of them on the front there in squares, squared sections. And
Yeah,
it
they're
says-
kind of dressed up. So top left is Murdoch, kind of dressed like he kind of looks like Paul. Top right we have 2D. He's got a bite
Are
mark
they-
on his neck or like a
Is
hair.
it
Are
like a
they
golf
also
hat?
dressed like the Beatles?
No, I don't think they're all dressed.
Okay.
No,
Like
but Murdoch's got like a mop
Alright.
Got
shop.
the haircut.
Sure.
The
Yeah,
bottom left
sure.
we have Noodle in like a civil army hat and garment, and bottom right we have Russell in what looks like a desert explorer outfit.
Yeah.
Demon Days at the bottom, Gorillaz on top. Nice font,
Then on the back,
very striking.
we got another picture
Picture of the band.
of what Noodle
Yeah.
playing guitar.
Jimmy Hewlett's illustrations are so great.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
good. I have a book of his illustrations.
I also
so
like
good.
how
That's really cool.
less so on the first 2 albums, but afterwards they experiment a lot more with mixed medium
Mhm.
stuff where they're doing
Yeah.
stuff like I think Plastic Beach isn't like a cover like a clay sculpture, or at least it's rendered 3D art to look like that. This is all just like really nicely
Yeah,
drawn
humans is,
digital.
like, lifelike looking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
humans
and
are
then it
weird.
gets really lifelike for now.
I did not like the Noodle.
Well, now
then it
now
bounces
they
back.
a lot of they like put it in the real world almost, like it's animated characters over top of like footage.
Right. Yeah, it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
It's like any modern kids movie, I guess.
no,
Minecraft?
On the
that
back,
was more real people over top of animation.
we've there's also a track list for each of the 4 sides because it's a 2-record album. And then on the inside, though, is my favorite part because they've got cool images to accompany
Oh, look
each
at that.
track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the single covers.
Are they
Well-
the single covers? Did they use them for the singles?
Yeah,
Oh, that's sweet.
yeah. So those are all the covers for the singles.
But not all of them were singles.
Yeah, they're not all singles.
Some of them were.
I like how they do
released,
that.
as promotional.
Yeah, they
Those,
ended
yeah.
up doing the G collection where they released every single
Yeah.
song and record in one package, and they created a bunch of album artwork for every single song. So I wonder if some of them, depending on when this was released, if they've added that to this with now a gatefold release or if it's OG.
I don't know. Each inner sleeve is one of our
Oh, nice.
4 characters here.
Yeah, so it's the album artwork.
Yep. And then on the inside is just a plain black record with a character on each side.
Oh,
as
but
well.
different.
Are they
'Cause that one
different?
he's got his
yeah,
glasses
he's got
on,
his
his mouth
mouth
is
open.
open.
Yeah, slightly different. He's,
Oh, look at that.
he's wearing his goggles now, and he's got his mouth open like he's saying something.
And it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. We listened to it earlier just to confirm. Something with my setup because I don't know, the bass is crackling for some weird reason.
I've heard very mixed things about the pressings.
Really, I
I haven't heard them. I've read them.
wonder if it's like a weird thing in my setup that's just not like.
Maybe you got too much weight.
Maybe it shouldn't though. I shouldn't have. It's pretty standard. I don't know. Either way, the rest of it is fine. I listened to another album before and after, and they both sounded okay. So just something is up with this one, but it sounds great on Jamie's setup. So not sure what it is, but yeah, I think it's great. I'm pretty sure I paid, I don't know, $40 for it or something like 10 years ago. Because this
standard for a double LP.
Pretty standard for like a double LP, especially like that was almost the height of like record collecting and stuff. Modern record collecting, I should say. And it was one of the first albums I picked up once I got back into the hobby, and I really enjoy it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, why don't you tell us your final verdict?
Everyone likes the Gorillaz. I like the Gorillaz. I keep calling them the Gorillaz, even though it's just Gorillaz. But it's hard not to put it, because if there's a proper noun, it's them. This album's pretty fun. It's great. I think this is the kind of album you can show somebody that will get them into music. Like, in terms of, like, if there's somebody who's, like, maybe just a top 40 kind of person, or, like, has never really dug into it, you can show this album to them. It's insanely accessible for how bizarre and out there it is. And I think it really can show the diversity of sounds and sonic palettes that can, that can be explored. And it's, like, a really, really great way for people to get into listening to music outside of their comfort zone. And I think that's a key to why its success and longevity, and also why it's had such a kind of critical reevaluation, because when it came out, people did not think it was bad, but it was not seen as like kind of the classic album it is today, and it's super influential. And like, I would call it essential listening.
Sure. Like,
if you want to understand alternative music in the 2000s, you got to listen to this. That being said, it's uneven, which is part of its charm, and I agree that with any Gorillaz album. The swings and the misses are all worth listening to. And for me, this is going into my 16th spot, underneath Frank Ocean's Blonde and above Pez's Watouche.
Interesting.
Jamie, what do you think?
I put this one... First of all, I really like this album. But we also listened to, I don't know, how many albums we listened to this year? Almost 50?
We're at like almost 50.
We do this every week.
I don't know. We've listened to like 50 or something albums. I put this album between Weezer's The Blue Album and Green Day's Dookie in the number 22 spot.
Wow, you guys convinced Jamie to stop doing out of 13?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Thank God.
They forced me to.
I said, new season, Adam's on board. We're doing Top Gear ranking.
He gave me a noogie, and he said he wouldn't stop until I stopped ranking.
I believe that. I believe that happened. I believe that's a true fact.
But will you believe that somehow I've ranked this the highest? Actually, maybe that's not surprising. I guess I'm a little surprised.
You
but
like Gorillaz?
You should be surprised. Yeah.
I think that this album is a lot better not actively listening to it.
Oh, 100%.
I've been listening to it, and I've been like, what am I going to rank this? I think it's going to be fairly low, even though I think it's a very good album, because I'm kind of over it. But every time I put it on, when in my car, coming to work, coming to record this or whatever, I was like, this is great. This is a really good album. It is a very good album that is, like I said, not their best release in my mind. I think that this is something that is worth listening to and is kind of stand out for the time. I just don't think it's their best work. But it is probably the one I'd recommend to people. So I'm very mixed on it, because like Plastic Beach is really good as a jump from Demon Days, and Song Machine is really good if you like the feature part of it and like the polish of it. So it's like, I guess this is kind of the best of both worlds, where you get unique ideas and some polish, but just the journey of it is really kind of exciting, and you can read more into it and maybe get more from it. But if you don't, maybe that's for the best. I'm going to put Demon Days by Gorillaz in the 14th spot, under Watouche by Pez, and above Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard by Lana Del Rey. Great album. I've had my time with it. I don't think I'm really ever going to put it on ever again. But if it came on, I would listen to it front to back, no issues. Like I said, listen to Song Machine, listen to Plastic Beach, but maybe start with this one. Plouffe, what are you going to rate it? Give it a number out of 10, because obviously you don't have a list.
That's what I do. I gave it an 8 out of 10 with a few 10 out of 10 songs. I think it's a really good album that gets dragged down by being just a little bit too long, especially with those last couple of tracks at the end. But I think it's got a lot of really good features. And when I think of Gorillaz, I think of this album.
Same.
and it's just like pure Gorillaz to me. And it's the album I fell in love with Gorillaz. So it's great. I think it's a solid 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Okay, actual aftercare.
Well, no,
question.
we got to do the next album. We got to say what it is.
Well, yeah, what's next?
Oh, what is next?
So what's next? Well, this episode is going to replace our Saturday release. We did it early, so you have a little bonus episode because Jamie's AMD upgrade came
Go
out on
watch
Live
it.
Tech Tips. Go watch
I'm
it.
in it. We put train stuff together.
Which means next week is my pick, and I'm choosing Significant Other by Limp Bizkit.
Wow.
Whoa.
I
That's
walked into
wild.
a record store
Throw your hands
for
up.
record store day, and I got some great releases. And this was sitting on top of a pile somewhere, and I said, I have to have this. They'll never expect me to pick Limp Bizkit.
I wouldn't.
Because I don't listen to new metal, but I do like
You
the
do
song
now?
Break Stuff a lot. I like it a lot.
Would you
know
say
if
it's
I'd
just one of those
call-
days?
It's just one of those days. I say that word all the time, and I have barely listened to it. So I was like, I have to buy this album. We have to talk about it.
Dude, you chose such an album.
Is Limp Bizkit new metal?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
It's rap metal.
They're new metal for sure.
I don't know.
They're like the reason why people hated new metal.
He did the pose. He did the hands pose, and then people didn't like it anymore. Well, hey, come back on next week, Plouffe, or listen, and you'll get to hear why it's such a good new metal album. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I haven't really listened to it. But for Aftercare, we're not going to talk about Gorillaz because it's a clear answer. Well, we've all had an AMD upgrade, which means we've all been given a bunch of free stuff.
Technically, I got an Intel upgrade. I'm just
Whoa,
it's
this
Whoa,
guy's better
just
than
a
us.
fancy
slightly
pants.
different. Slightly
What was the
different.
favorite thing you got from your upgrade, Plouffe?
Oh, that's a tough question. Probably either my Go XLR
Oh,
or the 3090 that I got.
39 solid.
3090 is solid, and I used it to sell it and buy a 4090 when that came out. But my Go XLR, I love that thing, and I use it to this day, like constantly. It's just so handy having like 4 faders on my desk that I can assign to whatever I want. So it's like, oh, my mic is too quiet. I'll slide that up. Oh, Discord is too loud. I'll lower Discord. Oh, my system sounds are too much. Oh, whatever. And I'll change my game audio on another one. So it's great. I never have to alt tab out of a game while playing video games with
I
friends
feel like
because I just slide them.
everyone is begging for a good freaking Go XLR competitor.
Ever since TC Helicon went out of business or whatever, yeah, 100%.
Like no one's like, is it that hard or is just like
Was it just a good
was there
buy?
like is there actually that few people who really care?
the
ability to just be able to
Roadcaster's
change
not
the-
bad.
What?
The Roadcaster's not bad.
There's some options that are okay.
Yeah.
The Roadcaster.
Oh, that one's fairly new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, what was yours? You just
It's
had
also
yours.
like $600.
Dude, I got the Hummin Guru
Oh, yeah.
ultrasonic record cleaner.
That thing's great. It makes the most god-awful noise when it's
Yeah,
working.
it sounds like
though.
TV static, but God, does it clean a record?
It's worse
real
than
well.
TV static. Don't listen to him.
Don't get it twisted. Anyway, yeah, it cleans a record real nice, and it is far more convenient than the damn spin clean.
It truly is.
I don't have to put it in a drying rack.
Yeah.
So, hell yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, man, so I got Katamari Damacy
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
And I got Walking on a Dream Special Edition. I love Walking on a Dream. I love having the special edition. Probably my favorite thing from the upgrade. It was like $300 or something like that.
Oh, was
I
that 5
love
or
it.
something?
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of money,
It was
yeah.
a lot.
Not the pinball machine?
Well, the one they broke in, anyways. Don't get me started. You got to watch the video to see what happened to my pinball machine, lit on fire. I actually had somebody reach out and ask me to trade it on Discogs. They said,
should've
"Would you
taken that
trade
trade."
your offer?" They offered me a special edition of OK Computer and something else, and I was like,
For the pinball machine?
"No, for my Walking on a Dream."
Oh, don't do that.
I was like, "I've never listened to OK Computer," but it was a very nice edition. So, if I end up choosing OK Computer one day, you'll notice I did the trade. Adam, what was your favorite thing?
I'm like going through my upgrade right now to try and remember.
I
what
do
got.
have up on my screen my upgrade, so I can see what else I got.
I tried to click my list of like products, but it's broken.
Wow.
I think my favorite thing I got from the upgrade is my sound bar.
That's what I was going to guess,
your sound bar
actually.
is so
Yeah,
good.
the Samsung HW990B. They knocked out of the park. It's an incredible surround home theater in a box is really what it is, because it's also got some surrounds. It also does Dolby Atmos, but it doesn't really feel like it's sacrificing like any aspect of it, and it's kind of secretly I think soundbars are like the most exciting audio sphere right now for tech, because like I feel like speakers are kind of a solved problem. Like
Yeah, it's been
it's
solved for like 50 years.
yeah, like it's really easy to get good sounding speakers And then headphones are also pretty much solved.
Yep.
So sound bars and the whole like trying to make a compact, easy to use, wire free as much as you can version of that is like the most interesting place in audio, and Samsung is still leading the way.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it. The other thing I really like is actually the credenza I got from it. It's great. It's a nice piece of furniture.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for my second one. If you stumbled across us from Jamie's AMD upgrade and you're still here and you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, rate us 5 stars, follow us. If you're on a different podcasting app, I didn't prepare for that. I guess bookmark us, whatever your app does.
You can do reviews on
Heart us.
most apps. Subscribe to us on your app. Follow us, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. I'm on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. You can also follow me on Instagram.
Please
I'm
don't
not going to tell
follow
you what
me.
it is. You'll have to find me.
He might be Adam. is
Oh,
mine.
okay. I guess I'm Jake Indigo. My first name is Jake. It came up, I think, last week's episode. You guys both called me Jake at one point. I'm like, that's literally never happened in 150 episodes or whatever.
We've never called you Jake?
No. I've always just gone by Bell. Because you guys know me as Bell at work because there's so many Jakes.
Jamie calls me Nick in his upgrade.
That's messed up.
It felt weird, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we've never addressed that you're Nick
No.
or Nicholas and not Plouffe.
Yeah.
Because the same thing. There's so many Nicks.
Yeah, everyone just went, well, that's Plouffe now, and then that's my life for the last 4 years.
And Jamie's real name's Egghead, but he hates being called that. So
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
Professor Egghead to you, sir.
So if you're still watching, like I said, make sure to interact. We do appreciate all of the help. And not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, tune in for Significant Other by Limp Bizkit. So excited.
I also want to. Can we just rank the Gorillaz albums?
Right now?
Demon Days.
I want,
Sure.
I want everyone's ranking.
I've only listened to like 3 of them.
Well,
so.
then rank those 3 and then
Demon
Go by name.
Days,
Just which names you like the
Plastic
best.
Beach, probably self-titled, and then Humans.
All right.
The other ones don't even.
I
get
don't like them. No,
listed.
I genuinely don't really like
okay,
them.
my
I like
list
them.
is 1 or actually I'm gonna go from worst to best. In the number 8 spot, The Fall. Number 7, The Now Now.
Yeah,
Number 6, Cracker Island.
yeah,
Number 5, Humans.
yeah.
Number 4, Song Machine. Number 3, Plastic Beach. Number 2, Gorillaz. Number 1, Demon Days.
Yeah, we're pretty similar.
Sure, that sounds about right. I haven't listened to 5 of those, so.
What's yours?
Okay, so I would go probably Demon Days, number 1, number 2, Gorillaz, and then the only other one I've listened to is the Now Now, all the way through. I've listened to some of Plastic Beach and some of Humans, but I haven't listened to all of them. So
Yeah.
I guess the Now Now is number 3 by existing.
Okay, I'll do the reverse as well. So I'll start with my worst, which is The Fall. Lovely album, not what I'm looking for. Then I'll do the Now Now. Then Gorillaz. Then Humans. Then Cracker Island. Then Demon Days.
Wow, that deep?
And then I'm going to do, as my top 2, Plastic Beach. No, then Song Machine, then Plastic Beach.
Wow. What about G sides? Because I love like Left Hand Suzuki Method, but it never comes up in conversation or anything because it's just a B track.
G-Sides is good.
This is, but that's just like the extras from the Gorilla, the first album, right?
it is.
Yeah, I prefer
It's cool.
D-Sides.
Sure.
Which one? Oh wait, no. Do Ya Thang, Radiohead, the like 10-minute version of Do Ya Thang. You know, with like Andre 3000 just flipping out for like 6 minutes straight. That song's incredible. I don't think it's on any album.
No, I think it was just a YouTube release.
Yeah,
Because the music video is sick.
Yeah.
It's like where they're
I've
going
never
through their
seen the
house.
video.
And oh man, it is so good. It's so fun. It's funny because they've had a Cribs episode before, which is very random. But then they've released this one with like their flat in London, and it's just like the craziest house. They're getting ready in the morning. So I used to be Tumblr famous a little bit. I'd make GIFs of
Tumblr.
music videos and stuff like that, and I did Do Your Thing. I made GIFs out of it, and it got very, very, very popular.
Wow. And then they banned porn on Tumblr.
And I was like, I'm outta
it was
there.
over, yeah.
And you know what else? I'm out of here.
See you
Thank you
later.
so much for listening.
Yeah, we banned
Bye.
porn here. You're gone.